Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Majestic speaking, and today we're going to be looking into some more MechWarrior Online here. I decided to start a series on tutorials for you guys. I looked back, and I know that we have a lot of new pilots that are tuning into the channel, and I said to myself, you know what, I know I give you guys a lot of like custom builds, some trial builds, competitive builds, so on and so forth, but nothing that really dives in and gives an all-encompassing look at particular roles that you can play out there on the battlefield. Not just a particular mech, given a particular weight class and so forth. These tutorial videos are really going to just showcase how you can outfit a particular mech to cater to a particular role out there on the battlefield, and not necessarily be one particular chassis. So, at first, I was wondering how I wanted to do this, and I figured, you know what, I'm going to start with the light class, and I might skip around. And so, you know, I was thinking maybe I'll do all light, you know, roles that you can play, then mediums, and so on and so forth. But I decided, you know what, I'm at least going to start here. The first video that I have for you is going to be based around light sniper mechs. So these little guys are the guys that are running around that pack, you know, a serious amount of distance. They can ping and strip off some layers of armor on any kind of straggler mechs that are, you know, kind of a little slower, that might be towards the back, kind of going unnoticed, but, you know, at the same point, they're very fast, they're very mobile, and they can still pack a significant punch. They're there not only to strip off armor in the beginning of a match and you know, ping guys that are caught in the back, but they can also magnify and amplify any kind of damage that the rest of your team, that your heavies, your big boys are doing up there on the front line. So, without further ado, the first mech that I have that I'm going to be using for this tutorial video is the Wolfhound 2 Resistance variant. Now, this little guy, I know you might be thinking, well, for a sniper, you know, why wouldn't you use the Raven 3L or, you know, one of the other Wolfhound variants because it might have range quirks and so on and so forth. I'm going to go through this mech and the exact reason why I decided to go with this one. This is not, and I just want to give you guys a little disclaimer, this is not the only good mech sniper build. I'll give you a couple suggestions after the when I close out the video, just a couple other variants, a couple other chassis that you can take out there, and you know, you can really configure them yourself and figure out which style, if you care to play this type of role, is suited best for you. So, the Wolfhound 2R comes with some pretty cool quirks that cater towards ER large lasers in particular. And for those of you who don't know what ER means, it's extended range. So this is an extended range large laser build that you're going to see on most sniper mechs. So this Wolfhound 2R, the two main quirks that cater to it are the ER large laser heat generation bonus 5%, and then energy heat generation bonus of 10%. So if I use ER large lasers, I'm getting a 15% heat generation bonus, which is exactly, obviously, what I'm going to be putting on this thing. It's a sniper build. So the rest of the quirks are geared towards the structure. Just has additional structure quirks, turn rate, acceleration, deceleration rate, so on and so forth. The hard points: 0 ballistic, 6 energy, 0 missile, 1 AMS, 0 ECM. So all energy hard points. And now, because it is a light mech, you kind of want a healthy balance between speed, durability, and packing a punch with whatever kind of you know, loadout you decide to gear towards. So with this particular mech, obviously you're going to be, for a sniper build, you're going to stack on as many ER large lasers as you can. Hopefully maintain somewhat of a decent heat management ratio, heat dissipation ratio, cater to the quirks, and again, make sure that you're at least a little durable and, you know, have sufficient speed. And that's exactly what I wanted to do with this build. So I've really, you know, sunk my teeth into this kind of role and was figuring out exactly which one I wanted to do for the video, and I came up with this guy. Again, this is the Wolfhound 2 Resistance variant. I have an XL245 engine in there, so it goes 122 kph. Not bad, okay? It's pretty quick. You know, it's for a light mech, especially when you see what I packed onto this thing, you'll understand exactly why the speed might not be in the 130s, 140s, and so forth, but 122 kph is nothing to, it's pretty quick. So, all in all, it definitely does do the part, and I've had my greatest successes with this mech, and hopefully I could display that for you guys in the video a little bit later. But So again, I have the XL245 on there, 121.9 kph. The loadout itself, 3 ER large lasers. And I know a couple of you guys will look at that and be like, whoa, that's going to be hot. It's not that bad. I'm going to say it right from the get-go. It's not that bad. You're going to really be using the 2 ER large lasers in the right arm for primary shooting. Now, if you need to do an alpha, or you have the the heat threshold isn't being breached and you can afford to do all 3, go ahead. But primarily, during the course of each of these 3 videos, or these 3 segments that I'm going to do for this video, you'll see exactly that. I'm going to be primarily shooting with the 2 ER larges in the right arm, and then following up with the last ER large laser in the right torso. The reason why I'm using the right arm as opposed to the right torso as the primary is because of the arm actuators. I can pitch at extreme angles, both up and down, with the ER larges in the right arm. So I'm going to be using those primarily, but at long distances from the beginning, you can obviously afford to use all 3. You're not going to have that much of a heat buildup from the beginning, so you can afford to use it. So that's the build that I placed on it. It has, again, 3 ER larges, 35 out of 35 tons, 73 out of 78 slots, 215 out of 238 armor. Now, the only place that I stripped armor off of was the left arm. And the reason why I stripped it off the left arm is because it's not being used anyway. I don't have any hard points in there. I'm not even putting heat sinks in there or anything like that. The main components that I need to be worried about are the right arm, right torso, left torso, center torso, and legs. So obviously, as you can see, they are completely full with armor. Every place other than the right, or other than the left arm, are completely full with armor. Those are the points that we need to protect. The right arm and the right torso, obviously the right arm because we need to protect our weapon hard points. The right and left torso because we need to protect so that our engine doesn't pop. We are using an XL engine. And then the legs, those are, I'll say it again, your legs are one of your greatest weapons. That's, one of the primary reasons why you run around in a light is because they are fast, they're nimble, they're quick, and they have, for the most part, a pretty decent profile to getting out of sticky situations pretty quickly without getting too much damage put on them. Obviously, if you run into a front line, you might be screwed from the get-go, but for the most part, you can get out of any sticky situation, outrun majority of mediums or heavies, especially heavies, and assaults. So, the heat management. Now, I know I always stick to my 1.2 heat management threshold. This has a 1.14 heat management threshold, and the only reason why I was accepting of the fact of keeping the 3 ER larges on there as opposed to 2 is because of the fact that I do have the quirks that go along with the heat generation. 15% bonus, that pretty much stacks up to be like a little over 1.2 when you think about it in context. So I'm not generating as much heat, but even though the heat management ratio is below 1.2, they balance each other out. So, I'm just about there, if not already over it. I didn't do the exact math on what it would calculate out to, but I said for all intents and purposes of the video, you'll understand exactly where I'm coming from. 10 double heat sinks, 9 internal, 1 external that I placed here in the right torso. Firepower. Now, a lot of builds come with 2 ER large lasers. You'll see that a lot with sniper builds. Now, with 2 ER larges or even just larges, they're all going to pack 9 DPS per laser. So if you put 2 ER larges on there, it's going to be doing 18 damage at a more significant range. Large lasers, if you just do regular larges, you won't have the range, but you'll still do 18 if you are within, that range threshold to pinging your target. And then, so if I have 3 on there, I'm doing 27 damage at optimal range. So definitely keep that in mind. That's what sets this guy apart a little bit more from the rest of the pack, is that fitting these 3 ER larges on there, having sufficient amount of speed, decent heat management, decent heat dissipation, it all kind of comes together, and you'll see that why in a little bit. 121.9 kph, as I mentioned. And, I fit on a couple modules here for you guys so that you can see exactly what you should be packing from a module standpoint if you realize that this is the role that you want to stick to. ER large laser range, level 5, so it gives me another 10% on top of my extended range large lasers that I'm using. ER large laser cooldown level 5. It reduces the cooldown by 12%. So, you know, because I'm getting less, I'm generating less heat every time I fire them, I figured, you know what, I can actually afford probably to use ER large laser cooldown. If I want to, you know, chain fire them, that would even work. That would work even better because my heat management and dissipation will be fine, especially with that 15% quirk that it's catering to. And then I looked at, you know, what I would want as a sniper in order to make sure that I am hitting my targets at the 742 meters of range. That's what I get with my ER larges, with the quirks, with, I mean, there aren't any quirks for range, but with the modules. And then, so I wanted to stick with advanced zoom. I wanted to make sure that I hit my targets. So that is the one mech and weapon module that I placed on this thing. I decided to leave the other slot empty because I wanted you guys to get the core gist of what kind of modules you would want to put on a sniper build. So this to me, if you ask me, catering to the quirks, understanding exactly how they play with whichever mech you decide to use, that's going to factor into how you build the rest of it. So that's what I decided to stick with: ER large laser range, ER large laser cooldown, advanced zoom, and then the two consumables are improved airstrike and cool shot 9x9, just to better make my heat management and dissipation even that much more efficient. So, you know, I can fire them off and not really have to worry about hitting that threshold. So, again, this is the Wolfhound 2R. At the end of the video, if you do want to skip and just see some suggestive builds, I totally understand it. This is going to be a 3-section video, so I'm going to hopefully... I'm going to edit it so that we get 3 different scenarios in which we're in, whether it's a short-range map, or a small map, a long range or a large map, a cool map versus a hot map, and just give you guys an all-encompassing look at how you want to not only build your sniper build, but cater it to how it should be played out there on the battlefield and what to look for, what your team is hoping that you can do for them. So, without further ado, let's launch into the queue here. Again, we are going to be going through 3 rounds. Hopefully, you know, you guys can see and pick and choose some information from each one, and then, you know, cater it to how you build your sniper mech if you decide to use that in your particular role. So here we go, launch into the queue, and I will comment from there. Alrighty, here we go, guys. First round is going to be on Polar Highlands, which is actually the perfect map to start this tutorial out on. It has both the temperature and the range in our favor, negative 55 degrees Celsius, and, you know, we have a very, very open space here. So we definitely have to play this, especially this game, to our advantage because they are both in our favor. Now, because I am in a light mech, that means that I am very fast, very mobile. So the first thing that you're going to want to do, especially even in a sniper role, is you're going to want to gain intel on the opposition. Now, given the fact that we are in one of the fastest mechs in our team, we're going to want to set ourselves up to gain that enemy intel, relay it back to the rest of our team, so that they can get in a more beneficial position, set up, concentrate and focus fire, and ultimately win the round. Now, once we get the information on our on the opposition, we can start pinging enemies who might be straggling a little bit in the back. And if we can peel off even just a little bit of armor here and there, it makes them even a little, even just the slightest bit more squishy for our big guys to come in and capitalize. So that's what we're going to aim to do first. As you can see, I am taking the approach of the scout here. I'm going 122 kph, as I had mentioned. So, you know, if I can, this is a huge map, so the faster I can gain that intel, let the team know exactly where their team is grouping up and running around from, that would be better. And so we're going to keep our eyes peeled. I'm going to have to go above these hills a little bit just to gather that bit of insight. And right now, it seems as though... Okay, so we have an enemy over here in Gulf 8. Group up and focus fire. And I got that Atlas even from a distance, just like that. And there we go, a PPC sniper. So he's looking out for me as much as I am looking out for him. So my next salvo will probably have to be on that PPC sniper if I can get him. That Atlas, obviously scraping some damage on him.
Incoming missile.
Now we have an LRM boat who is trying to gain some focus on us. And he is going to get it. But once I dip out of range, or out of cover... What the heck? How do they still have a focus on me? They can't even see me. But again, we are just going to be peeking from different vantage points, different spots on the hill here, getting some shots off. So there we go.
Target acquired.
An ECM Atlas over there.
Covering the agent.
Shot that PPC right past my head. And now we'll go into this little corridor here.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming.
Guys, group up. Let's go. H10. They're all over here. And there comes the team. All you have to do is relay a little bit of information, and just like that, everyone comes running over. So now I'm going to back up a little bit. Now that I relayed that information, I'm going to let the heavies and assaults do the tanking.
Destroyed.
He took off my left arm, which I figured would probably happen.
Warning, incoming missile.
Get into a place of cover here.
Warning, incoming missile. Warning, incoming missile.
And now we have a little bit better of a position on them. Now I do have to realize that I do have lower mounted weapons than some of the other other ER large laser snipers you can build. So again, I'm not peering over the hills necessarily to get my shots. I have to whip around corners mostly. Now, but if I can get myself into a better position altogether...
Target acquired.
Definitely peel off some of his armor. He's not going to like that.
Warning, incoming missile.
There, he's going to come after me, I'm guessing. And we got Flak Cannon. Down he goes. He was apparently weak in the middle. We weren't able to get a target on him, but we still did get the kill. Just from knowing he was weak. And now this Atlas is in a horrible spot, and so is this Stalker. They are completely open.
Target destroyed.
And now we can do a little bit more sniping. Our targets are distracted, so we can amplify that damage, as I was saying. Get the torso on this guy.
That catapult's SRM based.
Airstrike online.
And now, because we are still unnoticed as of right now, we're just going to ping some damage on this Banshee. He's not liking it at all. Keep it up. Keep up the pressure. Keep up the focused fire, ladies and gentlemen. That is the main name of the game here. And there goes the Locust, the pesky little Locust that was bothering everyone. Running around, getting in our face. That's not going to work very long, buddy. Not as long as I can stand it.
Heat level critical.
And we're going to use our cool shot.
Target
I'm going to use my airstrike.
Target acquired.
And then I'm going to group up with the rest of my team who seems to be focusing up over here.
Target acquired.
This Griffin is coming after everyone pretty aggressively. Going to have to help focus the fire down on him. Maybe just strength and numbers might set him off.
Critical.
Get him away. Maybe not.
Heat level critical. New target acquired. Heat level critical.
Now I'm going to back up a little bit. I need to distance myself a little bit more from the rest of the team, just so that I can make sure that I get my shots off. An SRM catapult. Very interesting. And have to run away.
Critical damage.
Again, distance is critical for me. Because I can ping them clearly, but they cannot get me because of the range. The range factor is definitely going to play in my part here, so... yeah, keep moving, buddy. Yeah, good luck getting those mediums off on me.
No,
Not gonna work.
CT.
Apparently the team was just relaying to me that that catapult was CT. So I'm definitely going to have to keep that in mind as I work my way around the map. They are all very sluggish, so I have the 100% advantage on them right now. He's not liking me at all. You could tell he's just so pissed off. And there we go with the kill, first kill. Oop! Came the wrong way. Wrong way! Get behind the hills! Evening up the score slowly but surely is the name of the game that I'm going for here. All we have is that Orion and the catapult left, and you can see them smoking tremendously. But hopefully we can round this match off, get the kills that we need. And again, distance ourselves just a little bit more. They're trying to get my leg. If they got my leg, that would have been game over because then they could close in very fast. But as they said, the catapult is CT, so if I can get him out of the way at least, then it's just a one-on-one duel between me and the Orion. And I'm definitely going to have the range on that Orion, so I'm definitely going to be in a good spot if I can at least get to that point. I'm going to peer over this hill here, see if I can get at least a little bit of intel. Can't see them. Can't see them yet. Okay, that's a dead mech. I haven't seen anything, actually. But again, this map is very huge, so we're just going to have to be patient. Hopefully we can find at least one of them so that it'll be a draw if we get to the last, 4 minutes here without spotting anyone. But as you can see, the sniper plays a huge role because at this point, the sole reliance of my team is now on me, and yes, it's a tall order, and I got you, buddy. And I know exactly where they are now. Just gonna keep laying down some fire on them. I know where they are. They can't see me. They have no idea which way I'm going because they decided to turn their backs.
Target acquired.
Let's get some info on him. 2 minutes to go. 2 mechs to kill. This is where your heart starts to race, ladies and gents.
Critical damage. Target destroyed. Left torso critical damage. Destroyed.
And there you have it, ladies and gents. The sniper roll in a nutshell. I don't know how I'm going to be able to beat that round, but there you go. With less than a minute left, 920 damage, 6 kills. Oh my god, this might be one for the record books. Unreal round in this Wolfhound 2R, for instance, but man, was that a nail biter. We got pretty lucky, and that third ER large laser, as I said, the primaries were in my right arm. The heat was in our favor for this match. You know, we had the range, and we got the kills that we needed. They really were the ones that could have just waited out the rest of the match. All the time had to do was just tick down. You know, they did come after me once they saw where I was pinging them from, but you know, it wasn't enough. We had the alpha. We had 27 points of alpha. They were a little squishy. Got our hits in the critical spots where we needed it. So from that aspect, that was a perfectly played game. From my entire team's standpoint, you know, we happened to capitalize on it. We were down 11-8. And it was, you know, up to me really just to get these last couple kills, get the core components off these guys, and ultimately solidify the match for our team. So I hope you guys can appreciate that round. But we're going to go through 2 more, in fact. So you'll get a little bit of a glimpse of a shorter ranged map, hope maybe another long range map, but it might be on the other side of the spectrum where it's a lot warmer. So we're going to pop into the queue here and see exactly what we can come up with. Hopefully give you guys a full encompassing view of how to use a sniper mech out there on the battlefield. Here we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Round 2 is going to be on Tourmaline Desert, which is a great map for sniping. I have to admit, it is a fantastic map for sniping because it does have the range that we're looking for, especially since the fact that it's a huge map. There's a lot of open space, so that'll definitely give us the opportunity to get into different viewpoints, get different positions, and get different angles on the enemy so that we can start peeling off some armor. Now, from the heat management standpoint, not so much. 97 degrees Celsius in comparison to the last match, which was negative 55 degrees Celsius. That's 152 degrees Celsius difference. So we're going to really have to watch our heat, keep an eye on it, make sure that we manage it efficiently. Might have to chain fire it in order to make sure that we remain as efficient as possible. And we're going to be starting, let's see, which part of the map are we starting on? Okay, so over here, in case you guys didn't know, that is considered the fortress, which is right in front of Theta.
Target acquired.
And automatically, we got some fire down on that Wolfhound.
Critical damage.
And he's going for me, I'm going for him. Gonna ping him in the face. And now we're gonna focus on helping out with Epsilon a little bit.
Incoming missile.
Now we're gonna get out of here because we're just too far out in the open. So we were trying to gain a little bit of intel, help with the capping of the points is what we're gonna work on now. We seem to cap Epsilon, which is fine. It's more of the rest of the points that we're gonna be worried about. We're gonna ping from behind this rock at first, hopefully get them from behind so that they don't see us. And if we can distract them enough to where the rest of our team can get into a position to flank them, that would be the most opportune. So we'll have to see how it pans out. Not seeing much movement otherwise, though. Hello, Mr. Atlas. I'm here. Ping him in the back a little bit, strip some armor off. Get him again. And the only reason why I am doing an alpha is because of the fact that we have spotted them. If we didn't spot them, it would have been a totally different story. And we wouldn't have the heat, you know, building up too much. We would be just probably chain firing most likely, so. But since we spotted them, we could take a couple shots at them, get them out of position. They're trying to stick to that fortress roll. And we're going to help out this hunchback a little bit because he was getting pinged by that blackjack. So now we have a little bit better positioning. Our team is still a little bit spread out. Yeah. That was the comment that was just made.
New target acquired.
Took his arm off. And now we're going to move in a little bit. Now it looks like we're going to be taking over the fortress. They're going to be the ones flanking, spinning around in a couple different positions. So that's going to be our opportunity to move up. Oh, and we got the kill on the big guy. Excellent work.
New target acquired.
Shadowhawk's not looking good. And he's a little too fast for us to keep up with him.
Airstrike.
But now we're going to swing around from the other direction. Now we have this position that we can worry about.
Target destroyed.
And that guy was just taken out of play, so we're going to
acquired.
swing around here.
Warning, incoming missile.
Ow, ow. Okay, so clearly they have that position nailed down. They might have a UAV. Excellent work. Got him down. And we're going to swing around here now. Run away. Again, speed is on our side, and that is just confusing. So if we can get ourselves into a beneficial position from this standpoint, and look at that, pointed him out to the rest of the team.
Heat level
Strip this Atlas a little bit.
Torso critically damaged. Airstrike activated. Warning, incoming missile.
Have to be a little careful here. We do not need to take unnecessary damage if we don't have to. We have our heavies and assaults in the fray already. Got another shot off on that Wolfhound. He doesn't like me.
New target acquired.
Gonna ping him up a little bit. If we can get behind him, that would be the best. But might not work out in our favor here. We have to help out this Black Knight if he can stay in it. There we go.
Heat level
Got him down.
New target
That Wolfhound is not
acquired.
looking too good. And clearly we have a an LRM boat behind us.
New target acquired. Target destroyed.
And there we go, got him.
Critical.
So helping out the team here. That Wolfhound is the last one, I believe. Yeah, he's the last one, and he is right here in Theta.
Target acquired. Target
And we got him! And that's going to be the match. Even though I overheated, it was more than worth it. So again, just getting into a position, helping out the rest of the team, that is what we were looking for. We didn't have the heat on our side, but we made the best of it. And so now it's just a matter of capping the last point, and it's going to be in our favor. We're going to win this round with a pretty big cushion, actually. We'll have all the points capped, and we will have all the kills. So that definitely, by getting both in the standpoint here, you know, we literally nailed every objective you possibly could. So I'm running over here. I'm the only light left, so I'll do the grunt work of capping the last point. That will accelerate our victory a little bit more. But as you can see, moving around from different positions, pinging people from the back got them out of position. We were a little bit spread out from the get-go, but it looks like we, you know, we countered, and now it worked out in our favor. So certainly worked out. I'm happy with it. I hope you guys can appreciate it from that standpoint. We tried to manage our heat as efficiently and effectively as possible, and it seemed to work. So, you know, even with 3 ER larges, you know, you might be a little skeptical as to whether or not you can make it around the map. It's all a matter of heat management, okay? So definitely have to keep that in mind when you're out there. You don't want to just be using your alpha every single time. You know, obviously you will overheat, especially on a map like this. 97 degrees Celsius, ladies and gentlemen, is what we have to deal with here. So, you know, just keep that all in mind. But in any case, here we go. We're going to be looking into a third round here. Hopefully we can get another mix between whether it's a long distance map or a short range map. Hopefully get ourselves into a position again to help support the team. 3 kills on this one, 6 assists, 3 times I did the most damage, 429 damage. Definitely an awesome round in a sniper build. Again, you know, I did exactly what I said I was going to do. From the beginning, I knew that I had some friends who were capping the points. I got into a position where I could get behind them, distract them. You saw that Grasshopper turned around, the Atlas turned around. Everyone was started moving as soon as they felt that there was a presence behind them. And it wasn't a big presence, it's just me. It was simply me pinging them from the back. And that is more than enough to weigh on the mindset of your opponents, ladies and gentlemen. So you definitely have to keep that in mind when you're out there. Even the slightest nudge, if they feel that they're threatened from a vulnerable angle that they don't know of, it will serve as a distraction. And the team was able to capitalize on that. Obviously, as you saw, I got a couple kills, but the rest of the team did the rest of the grunt work. So, you know, I just helped out in the best way that I could. And given the role that I said I was going to do, I capitalized on it completely. So let's drop back into the queue here. Hopefully we can get one more good round of gameplay for you, again, from a different perspective, maybe a short range map, whether that is hot or cold, just so that you could see how this thing could play in that type of scenario. Here we go. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The final round is going to be played on the Mining Collective. Now, from a heat management standpoint, it's 22 degrees Celsius, so it's not necessarily against us, nor is it necessarily with us. It's more of an average temperature, you know, considering all the other maps in the game. But from a distance and range standpoint, it is a smaller map, so we are going to have to take that into consideration. There are a lot of obstacles and places that we can hide on this map, so it definitely serves as a great sniper map. However, because there are a lot of obstacles on it, that also plays in the enemy's favor as well. They can hide from us. So we're definitely going to have to play this one a little more tactical. It is skirmish mode. So really, we're just trying to kill them. They're just trying to kill us. So at this point, now we're just going to hopefully get into a position, ping some guys from the back if we can get into a beneficial position, and strip off some armor so that we can get the advantage for our big guys to come in there and finish the job. So let's start off by, I think we should head up through Echo 5 into Echo 4 over to Delta 4. And what we're going to do actually is we're going to take a position right here near this ledge over here, because most teams, just from experience, tend to run up this delta ramp right here and go in through this choke point. Now, that provides a great opportunity for us, and I have a couple of my friends with me, a couple other light, small, nimble mechs, and they're probably going to be sticking around with me. I have one above my head. I'm guessing that might be the Raven, if I had to guess. So, if they didn't come up this way, then they're probably on the other side, which it does seem like that's the case. So we're going to switch over to that side now. Oh, it's actually the Shadow Cat. So good to have a buddy with you if you can. If not, again, we're in the pug queue right now. So everyone might just have their own agenda. And the coordination might be a little different. But, hopefully we could just get ourselves into an advantageous position here. Get into a sniper point and really start to pick off some mechs in the back. And we are going into the center here.
Watch out for that tunnel. Okay.
And again, peering around this corner, that is my friend right now. So they're trying to hit me with missiles and so forth. Not gonna happen. Gonna ping this Hellbringer because he is clearly targeting the rest of our team. Again, I'm on the back lines. Look at all the support I have in front of me. A lot of heavies and assaults. Gonna magnify that damage that's being done on this Highlander. Take that archer out of the picture in the back. Hopefully he'll back up, and he did. Now we're gonna help out. Again, we're gonna ping this archer. He seems to keep coming back for more. Now we're gonna help out with these guys. Hopefully get them down quicker than well, they would like to be. So that'll definitely help the rest of our team. If we can get him down, that would certainly provide a benefit to my team. There we go. There he goes. He went down like a sack of bricks.
One guy, Charlie 3, maybe?
Target acquired.
And if he comes out here, my team will be able to focus fire on him and get the kill. So that's the reason why I turned that corner so quick. Because it puts the pressure on him.
Target destroyed.
Now let's see what else we have here.
Flanked around behind us. Watch out.
Heat level critical.
Got a missile boat over E3.
And as I said, if he does whip around this corner, he's going to get nailed. So I'm actually going to whip around this corner and take out this, again, ping this archer down a little bit.
Heat level critical. Airstrike activated. Heat level critical.
Okay, so we're just being cautious around the corner here. We have an Atlas with us. We're going to have to help him out because he is coming up the ramp a little bit here. I have to keep in mind this Ebonjag as well. And he's probably... Oh, the Ebonjag is right here. We can sneak up behind him a little bit. And we got him! So that's going to stop him from getting any more kills or any more damage on the rest of our team, which is what we're looking for. And we're going to help out the rest of our team. Yes! Got him from behind. Excellent work. And we're going to get the heck out of there because that Jenner is going to come after us. And he looks to be in a short-range skirmish brawly build. And if we can get behind him, that would be the best.
Acquired.
And he seems to have dropped down, so we're going to take that opportunity to get some extra shots in on him. Looks like he overheated. And there he goes. I don't know where the last mech is, but now it's our job to hopefully scout a little bit. And apparently someone thinks he disconnected, so we're going to check around here. Just cover all our bases before we decide that that really is the case. And we have our friend... Oh, that's the Raven. Okay, so the Raven... Okay, so they did say it's a disconnect in E1. That is over here by me.
Target acquired.
So we're just going to finish him off, get this round done with. And there he goes to finish off the video. Fantastic round of gameplay, especially on a short-range, brawly kind of map. We turned it into our favor by getting into good sniping positions, sticking with the rest of our team, and it certainly shows in the match performance. 3 kills, 7 assists, 417 damage. But now it's time to pop back into the Mech Lab. We're going to go through a couple of other suggestive builds that you guys can go through yourselves and figure out which type of sniper role you might want to play. Again, these are suggested but not necessarily limited to the ones that I'm about to show for you guys. These are just a couple that I've tinkered with that I have used as snipers, and they have worked out very well. So let's look back into the Mech Lab here, and we can get a couple more suggestions for you guys that you might want to take out there on the battlefield. Alrighty guys, so as I said, we're going to pop back into the garage here just to go over a couple other builds that you might want to tinker with. Again, this was the Wolfhound 2 Resistance variant. A couple other ones that work well as really good snipers are the Wolfhound 1 variant because it has that energy range quirk. You can outfit it essentially the same way as I did on the 2R. It's just a different positioning of the hard points. So, for instance, it only has 1 hard point in the arm versus the 2R that has 2 hard points in the arm. So if that's more of your cup of tea, you can certainly use that if you just want the bonus range. I also use the 3L, the Raven 3L. So it does have those 2 ER large hard points in the right torso. So, you know, your line of sight, wherever you can see, you can essentially shoot it. I only suggest putting 2 in there. You could, I believe it only has, no, it has 3 energy hard points, so I guess if you really wanted to drop the engine to really, really low, you could probably fit a 3rd in if you want to simulate using the Wolfhound. But they're both 35-ton mechs. It's just a difference of positioning of the hard points and the quirks. So the 3L, the only laser quirk that it has is the laser duration of 5%, whereas, again, with the Wolfhound, it's catering more towards energy heat generation, in particular ER large laser heat generation. So, you know, that's just a personal opinion if you'd rather take the 3L because the hard points are a lot better for peering over objects as opposed to wrapping from behind them, which I do with the Wolfhound. That's up to you. The 2X, the Raven 2X, that also serves as a great sniper because of the fact that it has the large laser heat generation bonus of 5%, energy heat generation bonus of 10%, so those will stack if you use large lasers to 15%, and it has energy cooldown of 15%. So if you want to play a little bit more aggressively as a sniper, make sure that you're within that range of only using large lasers as opposed to ER large lasers. You could certainly take this guy out on the battlefield. You'll be firing off those large lasers a lot faster because of the fact that it has the cooldown on there. But again, you can fit it. Again, you're doing 18 points whether you're using ER larges or larges. It's just a matter of what range you want to have. So if you want to play a little bit more aggressively, you can use the 2X. The Raven 4X. Now, the Raven 4X, I haven't really messed with much of myself, but it does have that energy range bonus of 10%, laser duration bonus of 30%. So again, it is playing on that range game where, you know, you can fit it in the high mounts. You can see where they stack up right on top of each other. So if that's how you'd want to play your sniper, you can keep that in mind. I also see some snipers on using the Spider 5K. Because it does have that energy cooldown bonus of 50%, ladies and gentlemen. So it only has 1 energy hard point, but you can fire that thing off constantly. 50% is no joke at the end of the day. It also has a laser duration bonus of 25%. So although you only have 1 energy hard point, if you use that ER large laser, the cooldown will be insane. And the duration is also there, 25% as well. You know, it has 4 ballistic hard points, but then the quirk says machine gun rate of fire bonus of 20%. So obviously it's saying to do a combination of, you know, a long range approach, and then obviously once people are stripped and cored and you're going in for the kills and so forth, use those machine guns at close range. I see this mech as more of a harassment than a sniper. I'm just letting you guys know that I have seen it as a sniper because of that cooldown quirk on the energy hardpoint. So you can keep that one in mind. Even on something like a commando, you have the energy range bonus. This is the Death Snell hero variant. The Arctic Cheetahs, because of the positioning of those hard points, you can put them above your cockpit, and you know if you can see it, you can shoot it. Again, those are pretty high up, so you can put 2 ER larges up there and use them as a long-range sniper. I have seen it run a little hot, so it really is up to you guys how you want to outfit your sniper. You can either go, with more range, or you can just go with rate of fire, cooldown, so on and so forth. One thing I do want you guys to keep in mind is however you decide to build it, try and keep a couple main points in mind. Stick to the quirks as best you can. Keep your mech durable so that you can make sure that you last, and in case you are, getting flanked or a skirmishy, brawly light mech comes your way, you can at least try and get your way back to the rest of your team, and hopefully, that'll scare them off. Maintain some decent speed, so you want to make sure that you're still mobile. I said that is your biggest ally out there on the battlefield in a light mech, is how quick and nimble you can be out there on the battlefield. And then last but not least, maintain some sort of decent amount of firepower. I know speed is a huge thing that people like to go for, but make sure if you are playing the sniper, the rest of your team expects you to be doing a decent amount of DPS from that long range perspective. You're a light mech, you're very nimble, you can get in and out of your position very, very easily, and they want to know that you're pinging that back line, not just, brushing up against them like you would with a harassment light mech, for instance, the Spider, which I just mentioned, but that you're actually shaving off some armor for them and pinging those guys in the back, because that not only serves as a distraction, but they're sitting there thinking, man, he's got some large lasers that are really, keying up my critical components now. He's stripping off my armor. He's definitely a distraction for me. I'm gonna have to pay attention to this. Your team, although they don't realize it, I'm sure they will appreciate it if they knew that that's what you were doing. So just keep all those things in mind while you're building out whichever type of chassis you decide to go with, whatever type of loadout you decide to go with. Again, quirks, speed, durability, and DPS. Okay, so just again, from a tutorial standpoint, that's what I went with. Positioning of those hard points, again, that's all personal preference. It doesn't, they're interchangeable, whether you want to peer behind obstacles or peer above those obstacles. If you want to have them fixed in your torsos as opposed to flexible in your arm with the actuators, so you can pitch at extreme angles. So that's really up to you guys. You're gonna have to make a judgment call as to whether you prefer, the hard point difference, or exactly where they're positioned and so forth. But in any case, that's going to wrap it up for this tutorial video. I hope it was insightful and really helpful for you guys. That's really what I hope to get out of these tutorial videos, is that it just help you guys understand tactfully, positionally, and with a particular role, how to work it out there on the battlefield. It's not necessarily all about the DPS. You don't have to be the hero that's charging in there and getting the most amount of DPS all the time. If only your team knew what kind of role you were helping them with out there on the battlefield. And I proved it even in that first round on Polar Highlands. Range does matter, and at the end of it, I had all eyes on me, and it was 4-on-1, and we won, because they realized I took that range approach, and I essentially helped lead the team to victory from that standpoint. So, just keep that kind of stuff in mind. You don't have to be the hero up front all the time. You can do a serious amount of damage from the back. So just keep that in mind going forward. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to become royal today. Leave a comment in the section below. Any kind of comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, leave in the comment section, unless you want to ping me directly, which I'll leave my direct email in the description section, so you can use that as well. But in any case, that's going to wrap it up for this tutorial video on MechWarrior Online Light Sniper Mechs. I look forward to seeing you guys on the next one. Take care, guys.